by Dollar General. To get your favorite brands for race day, visit Dollar General. Save time, save money every day. Kenny Schrader, who did win a pole here for Rick Hendrick in 1993, and he also did win a pole here for Junie Donlevy. We got a little slideways in practice on our Schrader poles, but he has 3 at this racetrack.
So I'll ask you, who you think will win the pole tonight, Larry? You got a pick?
You know, I believe Ryan Newman was the fastest in practice. I think he has a pretty good shot at getting his first pole of the year.
I think Ryan Newman and Juan Montoya, I don't know where they'll qualify, but I bet you it's side by side.
Good chance.
All right, let's join Matt Yoakum.
Mike, Brad Keselowski has been impressive. 2 Sprint Cup starts here at Darlington, a 7th and a 12th. We've had some rain, one of the most challenging racetracks. Is it going to be even more of a challenge or more fun?
Well, it should be fun. You know, if you're in the sport for the right reasons, it's fun because it is definitely more challenging, and you know, that's kind of what gets me up in the bed in the morning. You know, is knowing that this is going to be tough. And Darlington is already tough, and you add the weather and the lack of practice time, and then throw in some qualifying, and it gets real interesting.
Now, you showed me a mark on the wall, and you were explaining something. What was it?
Well, there's some cones up here which tell you where to brake, and it just happens to be right here. And the tough part about Darlington is you drive it down into the corner, and you make a guess at what grip level you're going to have. And so for me, right there, I'm going to make my decision how much grip I have, and I'm not going to know if it works until I get all the way down into the corner, and I either hit the wall or I go fast.
All right, it's a guessing game, Krista Voda.
Yes, it is. For all of these guys, including David Rudiman, talking about the guessing game, because did you get what you wanted out of practice? Were you able to get race trim, qualifying trim, or did you have to just sort of run and gun?
Well, we got a little bit of race trim stuff with Aaron Tree machine, but you know, in the end, 19 laps or 20 laps or whatever we got, it's nowhere near enough to really figure out what you have. So we had to squeeze in some qualifying laps in there, because if you don't, if it would have qualified out, if it would have rained out qualifying, we would have been about 35th or so. So we had to do that. So in the end, we didn't get a whole lot of practice, but it's the same for everybody. But I felt like the car was pretty good.
We always hear race the racetrack, not the other competitors. What was your first thought of this racetrack the first time you raced it, the first time you saw it? And did you respect it right away?
Yeah, it was pretty intense, and it still is every time you come here. First time being here in the Truck Series and then going on to Nationwide Series and Cup. I mean, it's a place that you really that phrase "racing the racetrack" was meant for this racetrack alone, I think, because it's a really intense racetrack and tough place. So it'd be great if you could win here. You're doing something pretty big.
And I know you're trying to turn your luck around. I don't know if a clean-shaven David Rudiman will get it done, but he's hoping so.
All right, thanks, Krista. Just a little late work with the jet dryers down in turns 1 and 2. When we come back from this break, we should be ready to qualify at Darlington.
As a fan of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, I want to get as close to the action as I can get. One way to do that is to use the NASCAR Sprint Cup mobile app for my HTC Evo 4G. Another way is to hide in the back of Carl Edwards' car.
Fuel your fan with NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile on the HTC Evo 4G. Only from Sprint, the Now Network.
This is not as safe as I initially planned.
Long before a Cummins diesel engine powered a Ram truck, it roared to life out here and proved itself here, here, and here. And it's now delivering best-in-class towing here and unsurpassed torque here. The Ram 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty covers you everywhere. Ram.
Does your love for motorcycles go?
This one works.
The price sure doesn't.
I'm tired of shopping around.
Too bad you're not buying car insurance. Like that's easy. Oh, it is. Progressive Direct showed me their rates and the rates of their competitors. I saved hundreds when switching. You could use hundreds.
Yeah.
Wake up and smell the savings.
Out there with a better way. Now that's Progressive.
You could say I'm well connected. Not because I'm a member of the Hollywood elite, but because I have Xfinity. Now I can do more of what I love to do online. Log in, blog in, status groovy. Finish him! HD me.
Easily surf, download music, and share pictures online. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 6 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
When we started Cup practice earlier today, it was in the mid-70s. The front came through, brought a lot of rain with it for more than an hour, and the temp has dipped more than 10 degrees from there. We've gone from partly sunny to partly cloudy, which may or may not be the same thing depending on your point of view. David Pearson has 12 poles at Darlington. No one else in history more than half a dozen. That'd be Fred Lorenzen and Fireball Roberts. Bill Elliott has 5. 3 drivers are tied at 4. None of them are in tonight's field.
You know, one thing, Larry, just real quickly, that always worried me a little bit. After the jet drivers have been out, there's always a little residue from the jet fuel on the racetrack. It takes a lap or a car or two to maybe get that knocked off. Other than that, it should be fast.
Robbie Gordon's Dodge looking for its first top 20 start this year. He has just first top 20 start here. He has 1 top 10 finish here in 15 starts.
Realistically, he's looking for his first lap of the day. He barely got out on the racetrack just before the rains moved in. So quite honestly, this is the first time that Robbie's going to have an opportunity to see what he's got with his 7 car.
You know, one thing I've noticed about Robbie's car is it's got the rear kicked out a little bit. You know, the right rear, how we dog track them. I wouldn't want to do that too much here. You get that right rear up against the wall and knock that spoiler off like we saw last week at Richmond. How'd he do, guys?
28.38, 173 miles an hour. If he'd run that lap in practice, he would have been about 15th.
Well, I think that's a good indication about how fast this qualifying session is going to be, because as I mentioned, this is his first laps around this mile on the 3rd track today.
Fans taking turns waving the flags for qualifying here at Darlington. Second lap is a 10th quicker, 28.23.
You don't see that very often at Darlington. Pick up anything on the second lap. Most time guys won't even run a second lap.
Yeah, I think Greg Biffle even talked like he wasn't even planning on it.
Top 35 in owner points going out first in the reverse order of practice speed. So David Gilliland in the Taco Bell Ford is next. It's his 5th trip to Darlington with a best start of 30th and a best finish here of 20th.
Has those 2 top 10 finishes in these first 9 races, both at our restrictor plate races, top 5 actually in the Daytona 500.
Now his best practice lap was a 29.10.
Here these drivers get back in the throttle just so early in these corners. You know, even though you're still in the corner, you're just trying to make these straightaways as long as possible.
You know, I heard one of the crew chiefs say this, and I never thought about it. They break the corner down. You know, when the driver tells them what the car is doing, he said when they say the middle of the turn is not what you and I would call the middle. It's actually before the middle. And so they kind of break it. That's why they do it in like 4 parts. Before the middle, after the middle, entry and exit.
David Gilliland has picked up more than a second from practice on this track that has been scrubbed with rain early in the day. 28.02, 28.11 on the second lap. Dave Blaney, Ken Schrader next.
One of the most exciting nights in all of motorsports.
It's a good night to get even with somebody.
The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, Saturday, May 21st, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Look outside. It's grow time. So let's plant some perennials that'll turn up every year. Trees and shrubs to give us depth, and fill it out with flowers placed in just the perfect place. Let's spend less, but plant more. What do you say we plant a weekend, water it, and watch a summer spring up? More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. We're lowering the cost of making Mom's Day with colorful hanging baskets and container plants.
With deposits in your engine, it can feel like something's holding your car back.
Let me guess, 16. Yeah. That's why there's Castrol GTX, with our most powerful deposit-fighting ingredient ever. Castrol GTX exceeds the toughest new industry standard. Don't let deposits hold your car back. Get Castrol GTX. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Free fall training! It's how Advanced Auto Parts trains our staff to install your battery fast and free. Battery testing and installation fast and free. Advanced Auto Parts. Service is our best part. Wipers, go!
Dave Blaney, one and done in Tommy Baldwin's Golden Corral Chevy. Picks up 8/10 from practice, 28-22 for Blaney, who is locked into the field. Kenny Schrader in the U.S. Chrome, number 32 Ford. Schrader has 3 Darlington poles. The first for Junie Donlevy and the second 2 for Rick Hendrick, 1987, 88, and 93.
Still think I can help these boys with that U.S. Chrome.
Because of your Chrome car?
I could show them how to do that. It'd be cool, man. U.S. Chrome, have a Chrome car.
Well, at least the bumpers. I mean, you know, old school, old style.
Schrader knows that too.
Sure.
He's full of old school.
Pretty decent lap for Schrader, 28.09. Looks like he's going to go ahead and run this second lap. That's close to a second pickup from what he ran in practice, but I think we'll see that a lot because as a lot of the drivers we've already...
Can't be that slow. First lap was good. Good second lap, too.
Second lap's better. 28.05.
Picked up a little wee bit.
Second fastest. Matt?
2 special Darlington Sprint Cup victories on his racing resume for Mark Martin. A different tire here this year, Mark, softer on both sides. What's the difference from last year?
I think it's just a little bit grippier, but really not a huge difference. The racetrack is really starting to lighten up and get a little gray, but it's still smooth. They did a great job of paving it, and I think it'll be a little bit better tire to race on.
Thanks, Matt. Bobby Labonte and the Armed Forces Foundation. Tom Snack's Camry. 31st trip to Darlington. He has a pole here in 1997, and he came from 31st to win it in 2000, the deepest start of a Southern 500 winner since Johnny Vance in 1950.
Heard Mark talk about the repave. This will actually be the 5th race on this repave. It was repaved back in 2007.
Just surprised, you know, and you hear the guys talk about how good the surface is, how smooth it is, and how it's not the tire eater that the old surface was.
Wow, top of the chart for Bobby Labonte. He's half a second faster than anybody yet. 27.56, 178 miles an hour.
DW, the track record was set by Jamie McMurray last year at a 27.26, so we're sitting there 3/10 off the track record with Bobby's run.
Goodbye, track record.
Has all the looks that it could.
Betcha.
Second lap for Labonte falls off by just a 10. So Labonte is quickest, then Gilliland and Schrader, with Landon Castle and Jamie McMurray coming up next.
In 15 days.
Have you ever?
No, I have never. Don't miss the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race live on Speed.
You ready? Ready? Green flag, green.
Kyle Busch! Let's do this! Let's do this!
That's how you do a donut.
Come to the conference room.
Okay.
What would you do with your favorite driver? Enter your design at toyotaracing.com.
Green flag.
Today, more than 6 million older Americans face the threat of hunger. In just 2 years, the number of people suffering has more than doubled. With your help, we can make this problem disappear. That's why I've teamed up with AARP and AARP Foundation in the Drive to End Hunger. Join us by visiting drivetoendhunger.org.
Landon Castle in the Thank a Teacher Today Security Benefits Chevrolet picked up 1.1 seconds from practice. He is second fastest at a 27.67.
Yeah, he picked up over 3/10 from lap 1 to lap 2 in that 09 car.
I think this qualifying procedure is going to go about like it should. Every car that goes out just about is going to be faster than the one before.
Well, let's see what the track record holder can do. Jamie McMurray practiced at a 28.75. So expect him to be in the 27.60s or better. Maybe not on the track record, which he holds, but here's the Tracker Boat Chevy.
Looks like right now he's flirting with being about a 0.5 quicker than Bobby Labonte.
First lap is fastest.
Getting there, buddy.
27.49. So we are 23/100ths off the record right now.
What a great run Jamie had here, though, a year ago. Set on the pole that new track record, led over 70 laps, and came home second.
Almost everybody so far, everybody but Blaney, has run 2 laps.
Yeah, I think the track just feels that good to him, Mike. I think it's cool, got the grip in it. They're just going for it.
27.61. Krista?
Well, Mike, let's talk to one of those drivers and find out. We're a little bit surprised everyone seems to be doing 2 laps. The track kind of holding the speed or at least gaining on the second lap, Bobby.
Well, Frank didn't say nothing, so I went ahead and run 2 because I thought, well, maybe that wasn't good. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, we didn't make a qualifying run in practice, so, you know, obviously we picked up a lot from that. But, you know, the track's obviously in good shape right now, so you know, a lot of guys are going to go pretty fast, I'm sure.
Former winner at Darlington, Bobby Labonte.
A.J. Allmendinger next in the Best Buy number 43 Ford for Richard Petty. Finished 7th at Richmond, the best of his season. That was his second top 10 of the year.
And we watched him early in that practice. We got about an hour of practice earlier. Almost get the fence over in turn 2, but he was able to get it off about right there just before it did make contact.
Yeah, he looks good off that corner end in his qualifying run.
But the important stat, aside from the position of the tracker at P1, is that last year at this time he came to Darlington 24th in the points. This year he is 11th.
Looks like he's just going to barely sneak in front of. He did not do it. Lost it right there off turn 4.
By 5/1000ths of a second. He is second fastest.
Yeah, he was about a 0.5 quicker till he got to the middle of turn 3 and 4. Gained a little bit of it back. Let's see what he can do this time. When you just look at this right here, this is going to be a lot quicker lap, it looks like, as long as he gets off the corner good.
Nice exit. Is Allmendinger the quickest so far? He is. 27.404.
Known as the Silver Fox, he showed the world NASCAR had more than one superstar.
If you look at the percentage of wins against starts, he's still number 1.
Don't miss the NASCAR Hall of Fame biography of David Pearson, tonight at 11 Eastern on Speed.
Truth is, if you don't have your motorcycle insurance where you have your car insurance, you're paying too much. At Allstate, when you combine, you save up to 30%. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects the rider better than Allstate.
Burger King created an enticing alliance of brainiacs and carnivores to formulate the BK Stacker, a crave-crushing quotient of beef, bacon, budget, and cheese for a head-slappingly simple 1, 2, 3. The BK Stacker, only at Burger King.
Lead paint poisoning affects over 1 million children today. Dust from lead-based paint could cause violent behavior. If your home was built before 1978, log on to leadfreekids.org.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to
The year was 2011.
Overwhelmed by the more than 60,000 on-demand choices offered by Xfinity, on TV and online, satellite TV began its slow but inevitable retreat. Xfinity, now with 10 times more on-demand choices than satellite.
Burton and the Caterpillar Chevy, fourth quickest for the two-time Darlington winner, 27.65 for Burton, who won back-to-back races here in 1999. Kyle Busch meets a young fan. And out comes Brad Keselowski. It's only his third trip here in a Cup car, but he's qualified in the top dozen both times and finished in the top dozen in both races in 2009 and 10.
Liked his attitude. Going to drive it in there, get back in the gas, might make it, might wreck.
not.
Might wreck.
Brad looking for only his second lead lap finish of the season.
He had a rough time at Richmond last Saturday night.
And looking for his first top 10 since Talladega last fall.
Yeah, that first trip here back in 2009, if you'll remember, that was in a fifth Hendrick car, and he ran up in the top 10 all night long.
Well, he completes that second lap, and we're still awaiting the time and the speed.
I would give you the time, but we are still waiting for it. We've had a little hiccup in our electronic system. So, Krista, while we await the time.
Well, Mike, on the pole for now, A.J. Allmendinger. I know your first run in practice, you came in and said the car is terrible. You guys made a lot of changes. Is it better now?
Yeah, we just we missed the gaps a lot in the front end. We had the thing killing the splitter, and it really just killed the first two runs. And then the third one, we were way off. And the fourth run, thank you to our teammate Marcus Ambrose, we kind of took a little bit of their setup and at least got about 4 or 5 laps in to give us a direction, and then it rained. So it's been a tough day for the Best Buy Ford, but just like always, I got the best crew guys. They just keep working their butts off, whether we're struggling or not, to try to make it better. And just proud of everybody at RPM and at Ford for working hard. I'm not sure where that'll end us up, but it's a lot better than 34th where we would have started. So we'll just keep working on it. This track's got my number, so we're just going to keep fighting and just have a solid day tomorrow.
All that hard work has paid off so far.
Thanks, Krista. Mark Martin is on track, the GoDaddy.com Chevrolet. First lap for Mark, 27.72, and that is 6th quickest.
You know, Mark was a lot like his teammate Jeff Gordon last Saturday night at Richmond. Looked like he had a good solid run going, and got caught up in that same wreck that Gordon got caught up in. He's going to pick up a little bit maybe here on his second lap.
27.68, slight pickup. He remains 6th. Still waiting to sort out the transponder issue on Keselowski. We'll try to update you in a minute.
Hi, this other store has these for 20 cents less. What?
Match it.
Match it. Match it.
Match it. Match it.
Match it.
20 cents less.
What?
Just match it.
Match it.
Match it. Match it.
Match it.
Match it. Match it.
Match it.
Match it.
Match it. Thank you. Got it. I'll match that price right here. Oh, cool.
We won't be beat. We have low prices every day on everything, backed by our Ad Match guarantee. Save money. Live better. Walmart.
It's 2011. Wonder where the Durango's been for the last 2 years? Well, it toured around Europe, getting handling and steering lessons on those sporty European roads. It went back to school, got an advanced degree in technology. It's been working out, more muscle and less fat. It's only been 2 years, but it's done more in 2 years than most cars do in a lifetime.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
It may seem ordinary, but in the right hands, this wristband can do incredible things. It can inspire kids to go farther in school and in life, construct a playground for kids who've never had one, or help children with illnesses experience the ultimate race weekend. But the most amazing thing about wearing this wristband is showing your support for kids in need. Get yours at NASCAR.com/unites and learn how you can help us reach our goal of 1 million volunteer hours.
The first of 2 laps for Casey Mears in the Geico Toyota will be the lap of record, 27.87. He is currently 8th fastest. Brad Keselowski's second lap of 27.46 puts him second to A.J. Allmendinger. The transponder on his car was not working, but NASCAR has a redundant system. They just had to go back and check it to get the time. So it's Allmendinger, Keselowski, and McMurray as Paul Menard in the Turtle Wax Chevy comes out looking for his best ever run at Darlington, which was 20th in 2010, was his best of 4 starts here.
First lap 27.61 for Paul. That puts him 5th quickest so far.
Another guy that was running pretty good last week got messed up in that wreck. We have the second year in a row we've had the big one at Richmond. Going in down the back straightaway into 3.
Checkered flag for Menard, and a second lap right on top of the first at 27.64. Matt?
Hey, catching up with Kyle Busch. We're entering your most productive part of the summer, May to August, and this is one of your more challenging tracks. You hit the wall earlier. Why?
I just got a little bit tight behind the 6. He pulled out in front of us. We were running pretty good lap times, and then I was trying to figure out how to pass and get by and try to time it, and obviously I messed up a little bit and right-sided it, but guys did a nice job repairing it and putting it back together, and then hopefully it's still good enough to where we can qualify decent and get a good starting spot for tomorrow.
Now, watching a lot of other drivers entering turn 1, he didn't go high either. Are you going to?
What?
He didn't go high either. You were commenting about how no one's going on the high side.
Yeah, I was wondering, I'm like, why doesn't anybody run the high line like right there, There's a lot of racetrack there. We just don't use it.
You're not going to try?
I'm not going to try. No, I'll let somebody else give it a whirl. I bet you it's not going to be good for him either.
Mike?
Thanks, Matt. Greg Biffle in the 3M Ford has a pole here in 2008 to go along with 2 victories at Darlington.
And Kyle, we have a lot of replays to show you why nobody goes high.
many of them.
Many.
We just call it a highlight reel. There's nothing high about it. It's just the highlight reel.
I noticed last time in a turn 3, and it flicked there for a second. Greg Biffle, 193 miles an hour going off into turn 3.
6th fastest on lap 1, and he looked to better that until the middle of turns 3 and 4. Identical laps for Biffle.
Yeah, last year here, the over 200 miles an hour into turn 3.
Krista?
Brad Keselowski, there's a lot of question marks when you come to Darlington. A lot of things you may not know, but usually after qualifying, not knowing your time is not one of them.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different ways to look at that. You can say that we were too fast to be scored or that we weren't good enough to be scored, but I was nervous for a minute. I was going to have to do it again, and that was the last thing I wanted to do. So, I guess it was a good lap. It's second right now. Car felt okay, not great, but okay, and got a good lap for a Miller Lite Dodge.
Thanks, Brad.
Jimmy Johnson, 2 victories in the Lowe's Chevrolet since he first came here in 2002. He has an outside pole here to go along with those 2 wins.
Brad said something that kind of chuckled. He said the car felt okay, not great, but okay. That's a good car here.
Yes.
That's a really good car here when it just feels, if it's just okay, you're pretty happy.
Johnson 21st quickest in practice.
Whoa.
Did not get through and off turn 4 very good. In fact, he lost about 3 or 4 spots right there.
Yeah.
6th at a 27.62. And Jimmy will play 2.
That means the car probably tightened up on him as he exited turn 4, really killed the speed.
See his crew chief Chad Knaus up on top of the hauler. A couple of days ago, Jimmy played in a pro-round golf tournament up at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Ooh, this lap was looking better until turn 4, and it's 4/100 slower.
Yeah, just not getting off of 4. That's where his problem is.
It was a 27.62 on your first lap and a 66 on your second.
Tomorrow, Speed's Ultimate Pre-Race Show dances with the Lady in Black. That's Darlington Raceway. Tony Stewart, Clint Boyer, and Richmond winner Kyle Busch on the show live. Plus, Brian Vickers and his mom tell us why this Mother's Day is extra special. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot. Darlington, tomorrow, 5 Eastern, live on Speed. Martin Truex Jr. looking for his first top 15 start here in the Napa Toyota.
You know, I like to look at this race this weekend. I know it's on Mother's Day weekend, and we honor that by not racing on Sunday, but also like to look at this weekend as a tribute to moms. Because moms and dads sacrifice a lot to get just about every one of these kids out here in these race cars.
And I think almost every one of these drivers would certainly solidify what you're saying there.
First lap for Martin is 11th, 27.77. Second quickest of the Toyotas so far.
A lot said after the race about the pit stop situation with Martin Truex Jr. at Richmond last Saturday night. 4 of the 6 members were changed out for this coming weekend. We have 2 new tire changers, 2 new tire carriers.
Martin's had a rough time, man. Think about those 2 wrecks he had at Martinsville and then go to Texas, and then he's just been caught up in a lot of stuff and then have trouble in the pits. I think he just kind of all finally mounted up to the point where he had to come apart.
Looking for a big turnaround, as is Jeff Gordon, who had a big turn. He got turned around, and that was the big one last week at Richmond, with Gordon ending up on in the inside wall through no fault of his own. Here is his Hendrick teammate, the Amp Energy National Guard Chevy for Dale Earnhardt Jr. New look for the number 88, silver hood and roof, white sides, bright green numerals. 2 front row starts for Dale and 2 fourth place finishes at Darlington, his best.
Steve Letarte vigilantly watching as the car goes around the racetrack, seeing if he can pick up anything.
You can see there, just not a good lap for Dale Earnhardt. In fact, this year qualifying has not been good to this 88 group. They've started 22nd or worse in 7 of the 9 races this year. I think the only 2 that he didn't, guess where? 2 restrictor plate tracks.
12th on the first lap for Earnhardt, 27.82.
He looks slow. He looks just slow off turn 2 over there, like he's just not carrying any speed out of the corner.
And no pickup on lap 2.
No.
He'll definitely have to put his work gloves on when they drop the green flag tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
Second lap, slower by half a tenth. A.J. Allmendinger quickest so far. Rudeman and Kyle Busch coming up.
One of the most exciting nights in all of motorsports.
It's a good night to get even with somebody.
The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, Saturday, May 21st, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Long before a Cummins diesel engine powered a Ram truck, it roared to life out here and proved itself here, here, and here. And it's now delivering best-in-class towing here and unsurpassed torque here. The Ram 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty covers you everywhere. Ram.
This guy is Donnie Holt.
Folks, why won't we go to the doctor? My uncle called, speech all slurred, complaining his arms numb. He called everyone. He even called my daughter Tiara, because, she's got a year of nursing. Everyone thinks he needs to go to the doctor, including me. So he said, well, will you take me? I'm like, I'm on the road. He goes, I'll wait. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love have symptoms of stroke, don't wait. It may be too late. Dial 911. Time loss is brain loss.
Uvers, why isn't there more on demand on here?
How am I supposed to know? The world's a mystery.
I thought you were the latest in technology.
Well, I was back then. My phone wires were young and life was simple. Now I'm supposed to have as much on demand as Xfinity from Comcast, on TV and online. Enjoy your youth, kid, because one day you will turn around and it will be leaving in mid-conversation.
Uverse's old phone wires can't handle what Xfinity can. Visit Xfinity Can to learn more.
David Rudiman carrying a camouflage and Hunter's safety orange on his Aaron's Toyota, so everybody can see him going around the track. 14th fastest with 2 identical laps of 27.92. Sprint with an inside look at what's happening now in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Kyle Busch has led more laps than anybody this season, 719 of them. For more NASCAR stats and live race radio, NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile at sprint.com/speed. That's 2.5 times as many laps as anybody else this year.
It's about 25% of all the laps have been run.
Yes.
2 sixth-place starts here at Darlington and 1 victory. The one in 2008 where he led 169 laps, or roughly half the race. And this week it's the Double Mint Toyota.
I mean, he just turned 26 years old earlier this week. He has led in Sprint Cup alone 6,390 laps.
Wow.
It's going to be an okay qualifying lap for him. 9th quickest at a 27.66.
Not setting the world on fire, but remember that car bounced off the wall pretty heavily in practice. They got it fixed, got him back out for a bunch of laps.
I think he's working at this lap.
Yeah, definitely looks better.
It definitely looked faster off turn 2 that time. If he can get through here a little bit better than he did the first lap. I think he's might have been feeling her out.
Rowdy Busch going to move up into the top 5 with that lap. 4th, 27.55.
Picked up a 10th, but it was worth a lot as far as positions.
Matt?
His teammate Mike, Joey Logano, was 10th fastest in practice. You've seen really both sides of the lady in black, a 9th and a 27.
Yeah, you got to respect this place. I think I was overconfident the second time I came here. Now I think I'm back down to reality here. So this place is definitely it's a tough racetrack. It's qualifying here is crazy. You really feel like you're going fast. So it's always fun. It looks like the track picked up a lot since it's rained and cooled off a little bit. But the sun's back out now, so it's taking away our advantage a little bit. But that's okay. We still got I think we got a decent car here for qualifying. Kind of interested to see which way the track went since it rained. So let's see what we got here at the Home Depot Toyota in a little bit.
Thanks, Joey.
Thanks.
David Reagan in the UPS Ford has 2 15th place starts and 1 top 5 finish at Darlington in 4 appearances.
Joey said you really feel like you're going fast here, and you do. I mean, when you're going as fast as they're going around this joint right now, you can really feel the speed.
Tell you what, David Reagan's going pretty fast around this 1.3 mile racetrack. He's working on a front row start, but ends up 3rd on that lap right there at a 27.46.
That's 3rd by 1/1000th of a second.
This kid has been fast all year long, and they finally closed the door on a deal last week at Richmond. Got his first top 5 since October of 2008 with this 6 car.
Kid can drive, there's no question about that.
Pretty hard.
Hitting a splitter.
Second lap slower by 1/10.5. Marcus Ambrose, Regan Smith, Clint Boyer coming up.
The magnificent Beatrice Henson is turning 100 soon, an achievement worthy of celebration. And thanks to Sprint's Unlimited plan, you can call or text her number or email her address for no extra cost. So congratulate her, sing to her, and together we can give a complete stranger the best birthday ever. Go ahead, world. Unlimit yourself. Sprint, America's favorite 4G network.
Engines are tuned. So are Mobil 1 motor oils. Tuned for blistering performance. Tuned for everyday extremes. And with Mobil 1 Extended Performance, tuned to keep your engine running like new for up to 15,000 miles between oil changes. Mobil 1 Extended Performance, from the motor oil brand designed to keep your engine running like new.
Relationships fail. Systems fail. Failure is part of life.
Fram filters are tested beyond any conditions you'll ever encounter to help make sure failure is not part of your engine's life. Fram, don't fail your engine.
Still at the office? Man, you need a vacay. Don't have to go far for fun. Ride a dune buggy or scuba diving? Pow! I make it easy. You make it fun. So many super destinations, such low rates.
From groundbreaking motocross technology to a leader in ATV innovation to #1 in MotoGP and #1 in sport ATVs, Yamaha is the first name in motorsports. Be the first to get into your Yamaha dealer for a great deal. Then get out and ride.
Well, tip of the hat to Richard Petty Motorsports. Marcus Ambrose, the Stanley DeWalt Ford, joins A.J. Allmendinger on the front row, and we are now just, 14 100ths off the track record. Marcus Ambrose, 11 100ths off it at a 27:37. He is quickest.
And we've had a number of guys, jump to the pole.
Don't take your eye off this little cat right here, Regan Smith. We know he's been fast all year long. Sat on the outside of the front row at Richmond last week.
Look at that average start, 7.1.
Better than any other driver out there.
Looking for his first top 15 start and finish at Darlington. Not sure if he'll get the start with a 27:64. That's 11th right now. Smith was 14th quickest in practice.
It's going to hurt his average here.
It will, definitely.
So he is 11th right now. And that is still with 13 quick cars that are in the top 35 plus the go or go homers left to qualify. Krista?
Mike, right now the Fords are clicking off some very quick laps. David Reagan, you mentioned the splitter. Would that have made the difference if it had been where you needed it to be as far as not hitting the track in the pole and where you started right now?
Yeah, maybe so. We didn't make a good qualifying run in that practice like a lot of guys did, and so we're just a little too harsh on the splitter. And when it's on the splitter, the race car's not in the track that good. So I was a little bit out of the throttle in turns 1 and 2, a little bit in 3 and 4. But my hands are still shaking a little bit trying to drink this Coke. It's a crazy couple of laps. The track has a lot of grip in it after that rain shower, so it's fun to go out there and go fast.
All right, thanks, David.
Clint Boyer and Richard Childress's BB&T Chevrolet got his first career Cup pole here in 2007 and turned it into a 9th place finish that day.
Really coming to life as far as race day with this 33 car. 5 consecutive top 10 finishes for Clint. Not the qualifying lap he's going to be looking for, though.
17th, 27.86. His teammate Paul Menard is a quarter of a second quicker.
Right there where he is, Mike, right now, there's where you have to commit. There's where you got to come off that corner. You're headed for that wall. You got to commit to stand in that throttle because it's easy. I mean, you want to let off the gas. If you do, it kills your lap.
And he's going to get better on this lap. That'll move him up into top 15 territory. 13th for Boyer on lap 2 with a 27.67. Next Friday, the trucks will duel in Dover, where the Monster waits to claim its next victim and crush any hopes of victory. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Dover next Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Speed. Krista?
Well, Marcus Ambrose is a former trucker in the Camping World Truck Series, but right now you're a provisional pole sitter. How did that feel? Are your hands shaking right now?
Yeah, look, I knew what I needed to do on that second lap. I just wasn't sure I was going to be able to do it, Basically wide open through turns 1 and 2 and car stuck. I'm just so proud of my Stanley team and everybody at Richard Petty Motorsports. Right now we're 1-2 on the grid. It might not stay that way, but just a really good moment for us, something we can reflect on and be proud of.
David Reagan came over and gave you a pat on the back. Congratulations, Marcus.
Jeff Gordon has a big string of victories here, and he's got a run going of 7 top 5 finishes in a row. Looking to take the pole away from Marcus Ambrose. He was in star-studded company this week when he and wife Ingrid attended the Alexander McQueen exhibit at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Tom Brady was there.
Sure, I hope it's good.
along with Madonna, Orlando Bloom, and others. However, that lap will do it, 27:34. We are just 6/100ths from the track record, and Jeff Gordon's our new pole sitter.
He's always good here.
Yeah,
always
I mean,
has been.
11 front row starts at this place.
Good job. I run a 27:30, and that's all you say?
Yeah, come on, boys. Give the guys some credit.
Matt.
A big week for Team Red Bull, Mike. P6 in practice for Brian Vickers, but really P1 for Team Red Bull as they were part of a big tornado relief for Alabama this past week.
Yeah, it really was. Everyone at Red Bull contributed, but a lot of it stemmed from Danielle Fry and Jay Fry. Those some areas close to where she grew up, they were hit pretty hard, but they weren't the hardest hit. And you know, as we've seen another disaster before. The hardest hit areas get all of the support, which is. And that's good, but there's surrounding areas sometimes that don't get enough, and you know, Danielle noticed that, and this, you know, and Jay kind of put in motion. Red Bull sending a lot of supplies down there, water, obviously Red Bull, a lot of other stuff. The Hendrick teams also contributed as well. So thanks to all of them, we were able to get some help down there to the people that needed it.
2 fully loaded 18-wheelers, Mike, went to Alabama.
Yeah, made a couple of trips this week, so you know, hats off to the Red Bull team for helping pull that together. Tony Stewart's been here 18 times. He has 2 second-row starts and a third-place finish. But surprisingly has led only 14 laps here in 18 starts. We don't have the tracker available on Stewart, but a 27:60 and a 27:45 put him in 4th place, second fastest of the Chevys so far.
You know, one thing I like, Larry, these cars picking up on the second lap. That's a good sign that this tire they have here is really going to race well.
Well, Krista, Jeff is looking for some props for that 27:34.
We'll give him some. Way
That's
to go,
right.
buddy. All right.
We're ready to give him plenty of props, plenty of praise. That was what you said on the radio. Was I ran that, and that's all you're going to say? So we're going to say fantastic job.
I mean, if roles were reversed, I was a crew chief with the clock, I'd have gotten pretty excited about 27:30. But I know what he means. You know, there's too many good cars still left to go. But really proud of all the guys that's driving in Hunger Chevrolet. You know, we made qualifying runs today, so I was hoping we could lay down a good lap. I think that's a good lap, but I think somebody can beat it. But, man, I tell you what, qualifying around here is so much fun. I thought I got everything out in the first lap, so I didn't go for a second one. And we'll see where it ends up, man. I'm psyched about that lap. That was fun to drive. You know, 1 and 2 here, wide open like that is an experience of a lifetime.
Fantastic, stupendous, outstanding. How's that?
Well, Jeff was 11th quickest in practice. That's why he's kind of hedging his bet. And he is currently the pole sitter with Joey Logano running a 27:60, 10th quickest for the Home Depot Toyota. Joey's 2 starts here, 5th and 13th.
Joey's been on a little bit of a qualifying run here over the last few weeks. He has 4 top 10 starts in the last 5 races. And even though he's 10th right now, I don't think that's going to hold him in the top 10.
Car was a little nervous looking as he went into turn 1 down there. The back end was wobbling around a little bit with him, so that's all. You got to have a lot of confidence to go really fast here.
Of all the Cup races run here, which is over 100, 1/3 of them have been won from the front row. That's how important qualifying is here. 87% have been won from a top 10 starting spot.
And really, when you start up front, when you start mid-pack, let's say, you're bottled up all the time. You're in spaghetti junction all the time. Nowhere to go. And the guy that starts up front, man, he'll come around and lap you in 30 laps here, a lot like Bristol.
Kevin Harvick, the Budweiser Chevy. Right now, the best of his teammates is Paul Menard in 11th.
Richard Childress Racing has 8 Darlington wins. That's all with Dale Earnhardt Sr. It's been a while since they got a win here. This old famous racetrack.
Harvick's first trip here, he started 3rd in 2001, in a Cup car, that is. Now, last year, he started way back 35th, finished 6th. 9th for Harvick, 27:55 on his first lap.
Quite honestly, for Kevin Harvick, that's a pretty decent qualifying lap.
Things moving around a lot, but he's staying in it.
I mean, it's just amazing when you see this right here, just how much they're in the throttle. You can see an off of it right back 100%, not feathering it whatsoever.
Got to put your leg in it, buddy. Got to leg it.
He might pick up on lap 2. He is the quickest of the Childress cars, and he gains 2 100ths. 8th fastest now for Kevin Harvick.
Expect he'll be pretty happy with that.
I think so.
Eighth fastest in practice was the Target Chevrolet of one Paulo Montoya, who will be the featured guest tonight on Trackside, the biggest party in racing. NASCAR Trackside will air tonight at 10 Eastern, only on Speed.
Darryl, you got to ask him, did he ever get those golf balls that he embedded in his basement walls dug out where he had his practice golfing net? Went through the net, slamming into the wall.
He is a great golfer. He's a 7 handicap. And talking to him yesterday and the guys he plays with, he can crush it.
Oh, I'm telling you, need to check it for roundness after he hits it.
And if he's driving them into concrete walls and they're sticking, he got some power.
All right, let's see if the first part of Darrell's prediction that he and Ryan Newman will qualify side by side. Montoya is 11th right now at a 27.58.
And Juan did finish 5th here in 2010, but of his 4 starts, the other 3 finished 20th or worse.
The only reason I said that, Mike, is because it seems like when you have a little grudge with somebody, you cannot get away from them.
Opposites attract.
You run into them in the bathroom, at the concession stand. Everywhere you go, there they are.
Now, he and Ryan Newman did have a brief meeting in Newman's hauler about what happened last Saturday night, and that happened just prior to going out on the track for practice. Here today, as Ryan makes his way to his car, he'll be the last of the top 35 to qualify because he was quickest in practice.
Yeah, we did a little interview with Ryan. It'll be in the pre-race show tomorrow. Really fun. He was really loose. Had a good time with him.
Montoya's second lap is slower, Matt.
Well, NASCAR never let things linger. Met with both Ryan Newman and Ron Pablo in the NASCAR hauler. Did you feel like you're able to get your point across about your frustrations from last week, and will this linger on, Ryan?
No, we're good to go. It's a tough weekend last week, short track racing, and it was a bad outcome for both of us. So we just need to forget about it. Race the racetrack here at Darlington. Got a great Tornado Chevrolet, and we got a sunny racetrack. I thought the whole draw thing was going to work out to our benefit, but it's not right now.
All right, good luck in qualifying.
Thank you.
The session started out cloudy, and now the sun is out as Matt Kenseth in his Wiley X sunglasses Ford makes his qualifying run. 17 Darlington races, 1 pole, which is very uncharacteristic for Kenseth, and it came here 2 years ago. Has a 3rd place finish here.
Was working on a little better lap until he got over to turn 4. It looks like he's going to actually slow down on lap 2.
Yep, 27.62, 15th fastest for Kenseth right now. He is the 4th quickest Ford to run. It's getting close. May 21st, the stars come out for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race on Speed. A 100-lap dash for $1 million. Don't miss it. The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race live Saturday, May 21st. Only on Speed.
She's a free-for-all.
Yes.
The last 20 laps of that deal for $1 million. Hello.
You know, quite honestly, a lot of drivers like Brian Vickers, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Burton, not just to name a few, they've got 2 more shots here and at Dover next week to get in that All-Star race.
Brian Vickers started 3rd here last year, finished 10th. It was the last race he ran last year prior to sitting out the rest of the season with medical issues now resolved. So Vickers has not missed a Darlington race since we only come here once a year, and you can see it on the practice chart, and you can see it in this qualifying run right here where he is 4th fastest. He's the quickest Toyota at 27.43.
I think he's just getting back into the swing of things. Every week he seems to get a little bit better, get a little bit better finish, and I think he's just really getting his game back on.
Darryl, he was working on better in this lap until the exit of turn 2, and it's like the car just had lost grip right there on late exit of the turn 2 coming onto the backstretch.
Yeah, it looks like some of these guys look like when they slow down, it's not because they're loose back in trying to get out from under them. Looks like they're pushing a little bit, get a little tight on that second lap. Air pressure comes up, lose a little grip.
And even if you're still wide open, it still bogs the car down.
Yeah.
Identical laps for Vickers. He is fourth. Here's Kurt Busch in that untried backup car after getting into the wall hard with the right front when a tire let go going into turn 1 after he had set the third fastest lap in practice. Here is Vickers' teammate, the second Red Bull Toyota for Casey Kane, who got a great top 3 finish at Richmond last week. Kane, 3 of his first 4 trips to Darlington, he started from the pole.
And he won the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race here a few weeks ago on that off weekend, driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
And the way Vickers qualified, sitting there in 4th, I got to think this might be a pretty fast lap.
Well, just look at that right there. That's a 10th and a half right now, flirting with it faster than Jeff Gordon. Boys, we
going to
may have
a new
track record. 27:13, over 181 miles an hour.
That is more than a 10th faster than Jamie McMurray's track record set here last year. Wow. That's fast. And the sun's out. He didn't catch any cloud. He got a little shade down there in turns 3 and 4, but that's in bright sunlight.
I think this second lap would have been good enough to sit on the pole, and it would have been.
Thanks.
This will be the...
Good job, guys. Felt really good, tell you the truth. Felt really good. Just there's a little bit, that first lap getting into 3, I might have missed a little bit there, getting into 3, but.
Great run for Casey Kane and the 3rd track record of the season. After Phoenix and Las Vegas, Darlington has a new standard.
We'll cut him a little slack on getting into 3, maybe a little soft. We'll cut him a little slack.
Denny Hamlin, the Sport Clips Camry this week. And during the past week, Joe Gibbs Racing, their drivers, the ownership, put to bed any talk of a possible crew chief swap. Turned out to be, as they said, an unfounded report from a blogger rather than a credible news organization, and the team says no truth to the rumor that a crew chief swap is in the works between the 11 and the 20 team.
It's going to be a great lap here.
Pretty fast right here, yeah.
27:30, second fastest for Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, Richmond was just what the doctor ordered for Joe Gibbs Racing last week with that 1-2 finish. And even Joey Logano, after getting spun out fairly late in the race, comes home with an 11th place finish.
The little piece right there looks pretty good. I like the way it's nose down, tail up, hunting.
Falls off just a touch on lap 2, 27:36. Mike Ford, crew chief, looking on. As Hamlin is second to Casey Kane. Matt?
And if anybody knows about fast laps, it's front row Joe Nemechek. That was impressive standing down here in turn 1 watching his entry.
I tell you what, that's a heck of a lap by Casey Kane. Yeah, not letting off going through turn 1 and 2 in a Cup car, real impressive. Nationwide cars, we do that, but Cup cars, my car can't do that right now. But hopefully we got a little speed in our NIPCO Motorsports Toyota, and we'll get in this show.
Good luck, Joe.
Thank you.
Now this is a tall order for Kurt Busch, the Shell Pennzoil Dodge. He has 2 first place starts here at Darlington. Jump into a car that's unpracticed, untested, and try to qualify it as fast as you can.
And we're getting, I think you can see a product of a car that has not made a lap. We saw a lot of tire rub, little fender rub on that left front. Still pretty impressive so far with this 22 car, though. First lap on this racetrack, a little high in 3 and 4.
Yeah, he got up there. I think he had to get way out of the gas because she was headed for the fence. Still, it's a yeoman's effort to hop in this bad boy and take it around here just this fast.
Top 25. 25th for Kurt Busch, and he is just less than a 10th and a half off what his teammate Brad Keselowski ran.
He will adjust. This lap, he will adjust. He now knows what the car will do, kind of what it's got. He should pick up a little bit on this lap if it. Yeah, he's going to pick up a skosh.
It still needs some help down here in 3 and 4, but it's definitely going to be a pickup to a 27.66 up to 22nd.
7.66, bud.
Kurt finished 3rd here last year after starting 14th. Here's that tire rub we spoke of.
I mean, there's so many things that has to be so precise here. Obviously, the driver has to be precise, and then how much they travel these front ends, which is something that takes a few laps to work out.
All right, we're moving to the fastest 2 drivers in practice. First, here's Krista.
With the fastest right now, and that's Casey Kane. Smooth was the word he used to describe his run. You said everything but turn 3. So how quick could you have been?
I don't know if I could go a lot faster than that, but I just felt like maybe I missed getting back to throttle that first lap in 3 just by a touch, like maybe run a 10 or something. But it was still an awesome lap. The whole Red Bull team's done a really good job. The Toyota engine felt awesome right there too, and there's still 2 good cars to go. So it's guys that definitely have a chance at this pole. But I felt really good. I was really happy about it. We made a run right at the end of practice, and I was on the loose side, so we tightened up a good bit, and then the sun's out. But it felt good. It was a strong lap.
Smiling right now. And remember, he was in victory lane less than 2 months ago in a truck here. Mike?
That's right. Thanks, Krista. 27:32 for Carl Edwards, 3rd fastest. Big news from the Edwards camp. He's the point leader, yes. But he and Kate have announced today the birth of their 2nd child, son Michael.
I think Casey can breathe as far as dodging this bullet right here. Still going to be a great run for Carl Edwards, but not a pole run.
I just was when Joe Nemechek said he was standing down there and Casey ran a Cup car wide open into turn 1. That baby must be sticking pretty darn good.
Sprint with an inside look at what's happening now in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Carl Edwards, fastest forward in qualifying, is also your Sprint Cup points leader. For more NASCAR stats, check out NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile at sprint.com/speed. And then there was one, the Rocket Ryan Newman. With 1 Darlington pole, came in September 2003. He's made 12 trips here. He has 7 starts in the top 3 positions in 12 attempts.
Well,
here we go.
If he's going to beat that lap of Casey Kane, he's going to have to pull those driving gloves up to his armpits, I think.
You know what, though? He's so... If there was a clone of Cale Yarborough, I believe Ryan Newman is it. They're built alike, have a lot of similarities.
He's flirting with it, DW.
Numbers coming down, and now it grows just a little bit again. And Newman on his first lap is 2nd, 27:25. He needs 12 100ths of a second on this lap.
Well, he won't see his buddy for a while. I'll say that.
Montoya. Second lap's going to be slower.
But he becomes the 2nd driver to break that old track record of Jamie McMurray's.
Great run.
The Tornadoes Chevrolet 2nd fastest to Casey Kane, and we still have knockout qualifying to go with 3 drivers that will head home today. Krista?
So Denny Hamlin falls down to 3rd quick, but still really good. I know you said your car was fairly well in practice. How good are you going to be in the race tomorrow night?
Well, I'm cautiously optimistic. We had a great car during practice. I felt like we had the best car in race trim over the long run. So it's just a track I've had a lot of success at. Got a good feel for it, and everyone with the Sport Clips team this weekend, Mike Ford's just done a great job. We unloaded good, and it's been a good weekend so far.
Defending winner here, coming off that 2nd place finish. Watch out for this guy, Mike.
Thanks, Krista. We move into knockout qualifying. Andy Lally, the interstate moving Ford number 71, his first trip to Darlington. Spent a lot of time in discussion with Jamie McMurray, who was the track record holder, about how to get around this place.
If Kyle wanted to see what happens when you go into turn 1 too high.
That's it. He's in the wall.
Yeah, he got into 1 way too high. That hurt that end of the track.
Get him another one.
Yeah, I mean, he has to try to run another lap because, I mean, this is go or go home here.
Yeah, you've already smashed it.
Much better line.
Yeah, he just got into 1 way high. It looked like the car wouldn't turn down for him. From there, it just went worse. It got worse.
3-time Rolex Grand Am Series champion. The 71 37th in owner points. So they're in knockout qualifying, and Lally trying to pick up from a 28.88. He does 28.61 for Andy Lally. 11 cars here for 8 spots in knockout qualifying.
NASCAR Race Day dances in Darlington. Tony Stewart, Clint Boyer, and Richmond winner Kyle Busch join us live. Plus, Brian Vickers and his mom tell you why this Mother's Day is extra special. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturday at 5 Eastern, live on Speed.
Hey, would you mind if I asked Sheila out?
Of course not. We broke up 6 months ago. But I don't think she'd go for a guy like...
She said she'd love to. She can't wait to see me. Really? She's wanted me to ask her out for over a year now. She just sent me a video.
Hi, Steven. Can I see that?
Yeah.
Can't wait for a date.
In the network, sparks fly faster. AT&T is getting faster with 4G. Rethink possible.
At Polaris, we designed a trail-dominating legend, the Sportsman XP, to lead a new team of smooth-riding trail runners. We made a versatile, powerful, mid-size Ranger, launching a new group of value-minded workhorses. And we made the ultimate hunting vehicle, the Ranger XP, even better. Heading up a new team of hard-working hunting machines. From the #1 maker of ATVs and side-by-sides, Polaris. Get up to $1,000 in rebates and financing as low as 3.99% now during the Polaris XP sales event.
Experiments fail. Technologies fail. Failure is part of life. Fram filters are tested beyond any conditions you'll ever encounter to help make sure failure is not part of your engine's life. Fram, don't fail your engine.
He's going with the long tongs. Would have gone short tongs, but he's a pro. Montreal steak, unbelievable flavor.
With the mouth-watering flavor of Grill Mates, you can grill like an expert. McCormick Grill Mates. Master the flame. Master the flavor.
Hey, Kurt, it's Kyle. Hey, you got a minute?
Not really. Kind of busy.
You have got to check out the new NASCAR.com race view. I mean, these new virtual graphics make my car look almost real. Did you know fans can customize this to follow me all race long and listen to my in-car audio? And now my fans can even watch you try to keep up with me in the new head-to-head view. I mean, how cool is that?
Check out the brand new and dramatically improved race view, only at NASCAR.com.
Kurt, hey, Kurt.
K Automotive this week donating the hood of their car to voicetoday.org, an organization dedicated to stopping child sexual abuse. Brian Kozlowski times in at 28.77, slower than Andy Lally as we move to Joe Nemechek in the number 87 Toyota.
Yeah, you just wonder, Mike, that little bit that Andy Lally, on the encouragement from his crew chief Doug Richard, found from lap 1 to lap 2, that may end up being the difference between staying here and racing tomorrow night or going home.
It may well be that. Joe Nemechek, 24 starts here with a best of 4th, back driving for Larry Hedrick in 1994, and a best finish here of 6th. He's had a couple of top 10 finishes at Darlington, and he times in 34th with a 28.16. Krista?
Mike, we knew Ryan Newman would be fast after turning the quick lap in practice, but did you know you'd be that fast? Were you pleasantly surprised?
I really didn't know what we would pick up with the sun coming out, and you know, that first lap on the track when it was close to green was pretty nice because it was cool too. But you know, proud of everybody at Stewart Haas. Tornado Chevrolet was good off the truck. It was good in qualifying. Got a good starting spot, good pit selection. We'll just try to do our best for tomorrow.
All right, this is one of his favorite tracks.
Thanks, Krista. Here's Scott Riggs from Bahama, North Carolina. Formerly a regular in the Sprint Cup Series. He has not started a race since Bristol last August. He has one top 10 start at Darlington, trying to put this number 81 in the show. Got to beat Joe Nemechek.
He has his hands full, though. That thing was loose push down into 1 and 2, real loose off turn 3, and you can hear how much he was out of the throttle. He'll definitely have to run a second lap.
First trip around for Riggs, 28.247. That is second fastest of the 4 go-or-go-homers thus far.
Looked a little better off turn 2 that time. And of course, when the better you get off 2, the more speed you can carry down that back straightaway.
This is a second Whitney Motorsports entry of this Chevrolet.
Yeah, Scott hadn't run in the Sprint Cup since Bristol.
Undone. That is not good. 28.51. Riggs slows down. His run locks Joe Nemechek into the race for tomorrow night. But NASCAR is going to have to go out and take a look at the racetrack after smoke pours from the 81.
And now they'll have to sit and see if that time's going to be good enough to get them in the show.
Lots more to come from Darlington.
This month, Speed is home to NASCAR's biggest event.
How about that?
First, the stars come out, the gloves come up.
Cash or crash, checkers or wreckers.
For the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race.
He is bad fast.
They put him in the wall! Then 5 NASCAR legends receive the greatest honor history can bestow. The benchmark of racing achievement.
Can you believe it? Oh, man.
Induction into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. This month, NASCAR's can't miss moments are only on Speed.
Look outside. It's grow time. So let's plant some perennials that'll turn up every year. Trees and shrubs to give us depth. And fill it out with flowers placed in just the perfect place. Let's spend less, but plant more. What do you say we plant a weekend, water it, and watch a summer spring up? More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. We're lowering the cost of making Mom's Day with colorful hanging baskets and container plants.
Does your love for motorcycles
People say I have the voice of an angel. Not because, but because I have Xfinity, the voice service with the best call clarity. I get caller ID on my TV and my PC, and I can check my voicemail online.
And you're saving money.
Get Xfinity Voice with unlimited nationwide calling for $19.99 a month for 12 months. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your current number. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
That's the only song they know.
Like racing, like money? Then like Speed on Facebook for a chance to win 10 grand. Then watch the Sprint All-Star Race on Speed and get a special code that'll give you more chances to win. 10 grand on the line. What's not to like? All right, track is clear. And due up next is Travis Kvapil in the Long John Silver's number 38 Ford. 4 trips to Darlington, a best start of 17th, and 1 top 10 finish for Travis. Came here 3 years ago.
Mike, while we're waiting on Travis to get up to speed, you know, Matt Yoakum interviewed Brian Vickers a little earlier about what Red Bull did for the people down in Alabama. Be a great time to mention. A little late to do it today, but tomorrow and Sunday, Grant Lynch and the people at Talladega Superspeedway, they had committed $100,000 to the Red Cross Tornado Relief. But the fans, for a minimum of a $50 donation, you can go out there and drive your car around the racetrack tomorrow or Sunday. If you got a mom that likes living to the edge, be a great Mother's Day present for her on Sunday.
Ooh, I think so. Hey, how about Travis Kvapil? He is flying. If the tracker is correct, and occasionally it has a glitch, that's a top 20 run for Travis. It is 21st.
You're in, buddy. You're in. Keep digging.
27.62. It's a great lap.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have given him the keep digging. I would think I would have said you're in, shut her off. Because that is a great lap for Travis. He's going to go ahead and run this second lap, but it definitely looks like it's going to be slower. But right now he'll be 21st quickest.
And that is by a long shot the fastest of the Go homers. So Travis puts himself in the show for tomorrow night. Last couple of races, 28th, his best start of the season. So he will eclipse that by a large margin. There's Andy Lally's car being pushed back to the garage, and Andy helping with the pushing there on the right quarter panel. He may still make the show. Right now, Kvapil and Nemechek are in. Riggs, Lally, and Keselowski on the hot seat as Mike Skinner, former champion of the NASCAR Truck Series back in 1995, former Sprint Cup Rookie of the Year, makes his first Darlington appearance in a Cup car since 2003 as he tries to put this big red Toyota in the show.
Yeah, Mike sat on the pole for both of the Daytona races, including the Daytona 500 his rookie year. You talk about those 3 drivers on the hot seat. Of those 3, one of them, an engine is expired, and one of them, the right side, is completely torn off. I believe Mike's going to race tomorrow night, it looks like.
We're good.
Skinner with 2 second-row starts here back when he raced for Richard Childress in the Cup Series. 32nd overall, 27.90. Second fastest of the Go-Or-Go-Homers. Skinner puts himself in the show. And the bottom 3 remain Riggs, Lally, and Keselowski as we move from slowest to fastest among the Go-Or-Go-Homers. Air pressure adjustment for Tony Raines.
Yep, Tony Raines next on the speedway. We already go.
And now what I'm starting to see, Mike, is 3 and 4, which has been a trouble spot for a lot of the drivers. We're starting to get a little more and a little more shade down there in that area, gain some grip.
So Raines, the former ASA champ, has made 6 trips to Darlington. Got a top 20 finish here for Hall of Fame racing and a 32nd place start, his best here in 6 races. To get in the show, he needs to beat a 28-24. That is Scott Riggs' best lap. That is to lock himself into the show. 5 cars to go, including Raines. 8 drivers hopeful of the 5 remaining spots.
You know, Jeff Burton said it best earlier today in a practice show when we interviewed him. He said, you know, you have to push it hard here at this racetrack if you want to go fast. But if you push it a little too hard, as we saw Kurt Busch in that practice session, it'll definitely penalize you big time.
You're in, bud. You're in.
Good lap for Tony Raines.
Not bad. What we run?
27.91. 176 miles an hour. Raines will race tomorrow night.
I think he was very relieved to hear those words, you're good, you're in.
David Stremme, new look for a car that has only been in 1 Sprint Cup race. It was a silver car last week at Richmond, the EchoStar Chevrolet for Stremme. His first trip to Darlington, driving for Felix Sabates. He finished 4th back in 2006. Chip Ganassi, his team. So let's see if he can put this car in the show again. Riggs at a 28-24 right now is the red line on the tracker.
You know, honestly, last week at Richmond, a brand new race team breaking out. They actually had a great qualifying effort.
That team was so new they didn't even have a pit box. Had to borrow one from Rusty Wallace's nationwide effort.
Yeah,
but a good start.
I think they're working out of the back of the shops up there at Rusty Wallace Incorporated. It's where they're doing this, and it looks like to me he's going to race
good
tomorrow
lap.
night.
Good solid lap for Stremme. 36th, 28.03. So the drivers who have qualified are Quapple, Skinner, Raines, Stremme, and Nemechek. When Stremme's run is done, we will move to knockout qualifying and the final 3 drivers to take time today. Stremme looks like he may pick it up a spot.
He's flirting with about exactly what he ran. Identical to out to the 1,000th from lap 1 to lap 2.
Friday, the trucks duel in Dover, where a monster is lurking, waiting to claim its next victim. Oh, wow! The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Dover, next Friday at 8 Eastern, only on Speed.
It's 2011. Wonder where the Durango's been for the last 2 years? Well, it toured around Europe, getting handling and steering lessons on those sporty European roads. It went back to school, got an advanced degree in technology. It's been working out, more muscle and less fat. It's only been 2 years, but it's done more in 2 years than most cars do in a lifetime.
Truth is, most motorcycle insurance costs about the same. What's not the same is the coverage. Now you can get the Allstate protection you need for a price you can afford. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects the rider better than Allstate.
Relationships fail. Systems, fail. Failure is part of life. Fram filters are tested beyond any conditions you'll ever encounter to help make sure failure is not part of your engine's life. Fram, don't fail your engine.
Speed's presentation of NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying at Darlington brought to you in high definition by Funai. Fun and innovative. Experience more at FunaiAmerica.com. And by Race, Rock, and Refresh. To learn more, visit Dollar General. Save time, save money every day. How about this? T.J. Bell, 77 Truck Series starts. Best finish, a runner-up at Iowa. He is in second fastest of the go homers in this Bandit Chippers number 50 Camry. 27.90, and that will send Brian Keselowski to the house.
Yeah, making his first career Sprint Cup Series start. And how about doing it at Darlington?
2 to go. J.J. Yaley on the track. Scott Riggs, Andy Lally on the hot seat. The Redline Oil Chevy, best start at Darlington, 22nd. Best finish, 18th. Both in 2007. Has one lead lap finish here.
Mike, something J.J. Yaley's been doing really interesting. It's called speed dice. In qualifying, they lay 2 dice in his car, and when he comes in, whatever the numbers that was on the dice, all the fans that had went to J.J. Yaley's fan page on Facebook, they draw their name out of the hat to win a prize.
Well, Yaley is now the second fastest go-homer, 27.83. Yaley will race tomorrow night, and that will send Andy Lally home in the TRG Ford.
Yeah, that'll be the first race that the 71 team has not qualified for in 2011.
And then there was one, and it's Michael McDowell, fastest of the go-homers in practice. K-Love, the Inspirational Christian Network, on their car for the second week in a row. They had hoped to run the whole race at Richmond last Saturday night, but they had alternator trouble. It ran down the battery, and they were forced to drop out. Third trip to Darlington for McDowell.
Now, he was not the fastest of the go-homers in practice earlier. J.J. Yaley was. J.J. just qualified.
So McDowell going a little out of order. 28-24, Scott Riggs. That's the red line. That's the time to beat to get the final spot in the field.
I think he's going to be in good shape here.
McDowell will race with a 28-12. That puts Scott Riggs on the trailer, along with Andy Lally and Brian Keselowski. So Casey Kane will earn his 21st Cup pole. Now McDowell is running for 2 laps, and we asked why. Last week he did this, and he's doing it again, and that's because they're going to run the race, want the best possible starting position. So across comes McDowell, and he moves up 2 spots to 39th. There's your front row for tomorrow night. Let's meet the pole winner, Matt.
4 poles at Darlington, the most of any track for Casey Kane. So Joe Nemechek walked up, wanted to know, did you lift?
I definitely lifted, but not a whole lot. And that, you know, it's not often that you can drive one of these cars as hard as I was able to drive it right there. But this whole Red Bull team, they gave me, that's one of the best qualifying cars I've had in a long, long time. And it was a blast to drive. The thing drove so good around the track. It felt really good. To qualify fast at this track is, to me, it's a little extra than anywhere else because you're right by the wall and everything happens so fast. It's a pretty cool track. I'm pretty excited we got 4 poles here now.
Congratulations, Mike.
His last pole, November 2010 at Miami Homestead. So Casey Kane, Ryan Newman will be the front row.
Bell helmets, mongoose elbow pads, a pillow pet, and cotton balls.
You're doing great. Guys, come on. She's not that bad of a driver.
Only Walmart has low prices every day on everything you need, backed by our ad match guarantee. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Long before a Cummins diesel engine powered a Ram truck, it roared to life out here and proved itself here, and here. And it's now delivering best-in-class towing here. And unsurpassed torque here. The Ram 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty covers you everywhere. Ram.
Burger King created an enticing alliance of brainiacs and carnivores to formulate the BK Stacker, a crave-crushing quotient of beef, bacon, budget, and cheese for a head-slappingly simple 1, 2, 3. The BK Stacker, only at Burger King.
So you think you can hang with us? Then you'll have to endure some bumper-to-bumper traffic. Deal with some tough customers getting up in your grill, and get into a few scrapes. And to those who don't expect us to go all out on every lap, we've got one word for you. Tough.
One of the most exciting nights in all of motorsports.
It's a good night to get even with somebody.
The NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, Saturday, May 21st, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Like racing? Like money? Like Speed on Facebook for your chance to win $10,000. Watch the All-Star Race to get a special code that'll give you more chances to win. With 10 grand on the line, what's not to like?
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Kasey Kahne's fourth pole here puts him in a four-way tie for fifth on the all-time pole list, but that top five are all proven Darlington front runners.
And how about Denny Hamlin coming off that second place finish, qualified third.
A look back through the field. Kyle Busch will roll off from 14th spot in the Showtime Southern 500 tomorrow night.
See Jimmy Johnson back on row 10.
And we'll take you all the way through the field. 11 of the last 12 Darlingtons won from a top 12 start. We'll see how that plays out tomorrow night live with NASCAR on Fox.
Get ready. NASCAR comes face to face with the Lady in Black. And the stripes are laid down early as the Sprint Cup grid is set. Formula One takes the stage in Turkey. Is a fourth straight pole in the cards for Sebastian Vettel? We've got a look at who's quick. There's 25 grand up for grabs in the Rolex Series. But this is one tough gang to beat. We always serve it up hot.